playing the Pokemon.
It's like different now. Like
It is different.
McDonald's has their own like game rules and stuff now. Now it's like you're not just doing attacks and stuff.
Mhm.
Like it's like just here's 3 numbers. Who has the highest ones? Basically.
Well, welcome everyone to episode 134 Preshow. You just got the tail end of us talking about Pokemon, and that's kind of where we're at. We're definitely not talking about Destiny 2 before the show. Kind of just talk about everything else that's going on.
We saved that for the show.
That's because I want to be the very best. The best there ever was.
That no one ever was. I like your edition better actually, but
Yeah, it's the remix.
yeah.
Baby.
Because there are people that have been the best there ever was, but I want to be better. Man, I
You
should
teach
not
me and I'll
have,
teach
I
you.
should not have started playing the gate after we got off last night.
How late you stay up?
Late enough.
No.
It was good.
That's not what I asked.
I spent like an hour in the creation process.
Oh, what a dork. I just hit,
You have
here's
to,
what you do.
30 minutes minimum.
No. We hit random 5 times, and then that's what you get.
Call it. Yeah. The thing is, it has a double character create. Like I spent so long in the first one, and then I like accepted, and then I'm like, wait, what's this? And I was like, oh, it's another character I have to make. And I almost went with the Ryan hit random 5 times and call it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna just make him the opposite of my character, which was really easy because my character's all I picked out. So I was able to just pick like features and stuff that were on the other end of the spectrum of the character. So it was not bad. Holy moly. It's good. It starts off creepy and aggressive, and I'm all about it.
So how much time do you think that game's gonna take for you to play through?
I'm gonna guess a single playthrough. Maybe I want to say. Do you think 200? I was thinking 100 hours.
Oh wow.
That was my guess. But I mean, based off the pod that we're going to talk about stuff today, I'm gonna need to get some good amount of it done this weekend.
Oh yeah. Even with Iron
come
Banner
Tuesday,
going on?
I got what?
Even with Iron Banner going on?
I know. I gotta get. I need.
Glorious.
What is it, 20? I need 6 more wins before I can stop playing Banana.
Well, I don't think we're really going to touch on this too much in the podcast, but Iron Banner to me, as a solo player right now, and how it's like splits the lobbies. Like you're always going up against a 3 or 4 stack of guys just absolutely farming KD.
Because you guys don't play with me. I was farming KD the other night when we were playing Checkmate. You guys saw it. I was top of the leaderboard every game. Nobody could believe it.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think that's the game type Checkmate. I think that's what. But this is not like I wish Checkmate was Iron Banner this week.
It was. Wasn't it Eruption? It's Eruption right now.
Yeah, it's Eruption. Yeah.
I hate Eruption.
And honestly, yeah, I always try to put it off as long as possible. Like the thing with that is like that game type of, or like the way the weapons are tuned is just exactly my play style.
Mm-hmm.
It was just hand cannons and, it was fun. It was the fun way to play Destiny. What Destiny should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only thing that'll make
Took
it
me a
better
minute to
Okay.
figure it out.
is that like they take some of the heavy spawns away and they made some special spawns, and that's how you got special ammo.
Yeah, because it was like on a timer,
How am I gonna
right?
fusion rifle people to death the whole time? I don't like
It was on. It was on a timer, right? On that. On
The
that one.
heavy, yeah, the heavy's on a timer. So they just changed it to like double the time or something like that.
Knowing Bungie, they would pick some random ass percent, like 7.28% longer.
No, I think this is a simple one. They changed it from like 90 seconds to 180 seconds.
Okay, I think that everything on my end is good. I don't know that for sure, but I think it is.
I'm fairly certain. Close enough.
If not, they can let us know in the comments.
I'm sure they will.
I'm about to go find the Tums, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Good news is we now know we can pause on Zencaster.
yeah. And then I think I can pause my video of me just like random grab.
Well, it's better than when we weren't able to pause because you fell asleep. That's still my favorite.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you wouldn't remember it.
That is made up.
I have to find out which podcast that was. That was a fun time.
I listened back the next day,
Yeah.
and it was just you guys are just yelling at me and just yelling my name into the mic. And I don't think I cut any of it. I think I left it all in as punishment to
Yeah,
myself.
you have to. It's so good. Oh,
All right.
man.
Clicking the button. Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 134 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Thursday, October the 12th, and I am the Destiny bad boy, NotRyanFox, here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared.
Hey everyone, we got Festival of the Lost news. That's going to take up majority of the TWID, and just looking at what we're going to be spending on our candy on next week.
And the chronicler himself, chadocero.
We're getting our spooky guns back and it looks like spooky lost sectors. So they're gonna be testing some stuff, and I'm actually excited to get into it.
And as a reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch live, thank you. You can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Don't forget, you can also leave a review on those podcast services. That helps us out quite a bit, and we will also read them live on air. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend requests so we can play games together. We did have a TWID this week from Hippie, but before we get into that, let's listen to our intro music, who is brought to you by Link. He is everybody's favorite Link, and you can find him on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG. 125.
You just needed 2 more seconds, Ryan. You could have done it. Could have done it. That make me add 158. Ryan always was. Pocket monsters.
Click the button. Wow, Link, awesome job. Thank you. Jared?
All right. Team it may concern. It's almost Festival of the Lost time. You know, Eva's returning to the tower. There's going to be candy to climb up in the trees and get. There's going to be masks to put on, every set of armor to go after, and some weapons. And a new change to how the loot's basically going to work for the Festival of the Lost. I think overall Festival of the Lost does bring people back to the game, because actually there was some people I play like Minecraft with, and they're like, when is Festival of the Lost happening? They just wanted to know when that is, because they're going to come back for it. So it's coming back on Tuesday. It's launching, and it's launching with Eerie Engrams. And that's a new thing that's coming around for this season. And you're going to earn those upon completion of Haunted Lost Sectors. Legend Haunted Lost Sectors will have a higher chance at dropping Eerie Engrams. So the more difficult stuff you do, more likely it's going to drop. You are going to be able to focus those. You're going to be able to focus on the Eerie weapons, which is the Festival of the Lost weapons. Arms, legs, helmets, and chests that are exotics. But those exotics that you're focusing for, like they just pick an exotic chest piece, it's going to be based on what expansions you have unlocked on your character. So if you only have 2 or 3 expansions, and like the world drop exotics, that's going to be your loot pool. The cost like for an exotic armor is going to take 1 Eerie Engram and 2,500 candy. You get candy by turning in Eerie Engrams, and also just by probably completing event triumphs, just like everything else that's been like the last like a year and a half now of the event passes. Fox, I think they really, like, nobody's really bought them out of us 3. I think you maybe did once.
Yeah. I think probably like before we even started the show, right? I think.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, because I haven't really bought anything in a while. So, but I think I did buy them a while back. Maybe like 3 ago.
You know, if there's an awesome shader in there, an awesome emote, then, you know, it's more likely to get bought at that point. So we'll have to keep our eye out for what all comes in there starting on Tuesday. But I think for most of us, we care about what the weapons and how much they're going to cost. A randomized Festival of the Lost weapon is going to take 1 Eerie Engram and 500 candy. If you want to focus a specific weapon, it is 1 Eerie Engram and 1,000 candy. Weapons-wise, we're going to have a heavy grenade launcher. The primary auto rifle Horror Story returns. The energy weapon Jurassic Green pulse rifle. And the energy weapon Macabre sniper rifle. So 4 weapons there. Interested to see if that grenade launcher is going to be any good. I don't see any details. I haven't looked at like the data mine. You can go out and find what the rolls are on that grenade launcher, but we'll break that down next week. And any of those weapons that we actually feel like they're chasing after. There's a huge list in the TWID of all the exotics that's going to be like in those Engrams. So it's really, it was a fluff piece out there. Basically, this TWID, it really made it look really long. But towards the end of the Festival of the Lost section, there's one more thing that you want us to note. And if you like mementos, there's actually going to be a new memento for this event. And it's going to be like a new car black leather. And man, have I seen plenty of that over this last year. I think it looks cool. It's on a trace rifle. I think this is Retrace Path trace rifle. Partially brown and then black leather as you get into the front of the gun. That's pretty good. I'm interested to see what this looks like on some other weapons. I'm going to try to get a memento or 2 over this next few weeks. Just a flashback. We had like a voting, was that like 6 or 7 months ago, of what armor theme was going to be for this event. And it's like a beetle one out, like insects, I would say.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bugs.
Especially the way the warlock looks. It's it's got the horn
Rough.
that can pierce the sky. Yeah. So
True, it does.
yeah. Moving on, the Crucible team. It's going to be. I've been looking at stuff, and Checkmate is like one of the things we're focusing on a lot. There's only been like 3 or 4 updates to Checkmate, so they're tweaking this a little bit. Adaptive hand cannons will once again 3-tap against any resilience when they're inside their intended ranges. Rapid fire pulse rifles will 3 burst at 6 resilience. High impact pulse rifles will 2 burst at 4 resilience with all critical hits. And then the reduced heavy ammo spawning frequency. Overall, this is a great playlist. I wish it was probably more front and center of the PvP rotation as of right now. The Iron Banner going on this week. I don't think there's a lot of people in Checkmate. Probably not a lot of people in Comp. Because of that, matchmaking can be really bad, depending on the time of day you're playing and what the population's actually doing. So they're looking in more matchmaking settings here, and they're trying to simplify the bands of which they put players in. I wish this is something they could just show you in game of what band you're actually in, so you know where you're staying, what kind of players you're playing against. However, they're keeping this hidden on the backside, but they're basically widening the window of players that you can go against. Spawning, spawn locations, spawn trapping. It's been around for like years. Like every game has maps where you know that if you get the map control and the spawn points, it's easy picking. Like you can go back to those earlier Call of Duty days, Halo. Like there's so much about map control and respawns and knowing where the enemy's going to respawn at. So we all been doing it for 20 years. So it doesn't take that hard for players to figure out spawn rotations. So I feel like spawn traps it happens. But Bungie's working on them, they're tweaking them. And some of the worst ones, like Cauldron and Ultra Flame, they're looking into those and improving those spawn locations. Next season, Crucible playlist we organized. They're going to include some more 3v3 rotator nodes. Competitive Crucible changes, like the competitive weapon focusing that you're going for, rank adjustments, and they're going to have countdown rush. Trials flawed cards rewards, and they're going to have rewards for streaks that are less than 7. So yay for us, for the other side to get in there. More checkmate modes, so that's Dominion and 3v3 Clash, aka Skirmish. So I look forward to those. Probably the more checkmate they put out front and center and make it easy for people to select and enjoy, that's probably going to make Crucible just better in general. Fox, I think you kind of called this one about this emblem here. I think you might need to. You didn't call this? Okay. I feel like
I don't think so. I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of just throw a lot of stuff out there. I just hope something sticks every once in a while.
yeah. Well, I feel like it might have been just like maybe not on the podcast then, but I think you was wanting for the crafting craziness that went on a few weeks ago, or how people just like taking these crafted weapons and turning them into everything else, that you wanted to everybody that didn't craft a weapon during that time.
I did say that
You wanted them to get an emblem. However, Bungie didn't do that, because Bungie don't have the balls to do that.
Yeah, they're P words. You can
so
figure it out.
Everybody that played between September 15th and September 21st, we'll be getting this free emblem. Yeah. So this is...
It's interesting to see the homages in the emblem.
Mm-hmm.
But that top right emblem, on the left side, it shows the Amit,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has a shotgun barrel coming out of it on the right. And like that was the major one that people were crafting and using in trials that week, or however long it was. But that was the one where people were just like, I have an auto rifle that is shotgun, and we're just getting just ignorant kills in trials. And since everyone else, anyone that didn't want to do it didn't play trials, but everyone that was doing it was in trials, and it was hilarious to watch. And I'm like, I'm glad I'm not in there. But it's fun to see that these people are doing it to each other. But like that was the most well-known crafted one, and it's on the emblem. Like it's a part of that emblem. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
The only thing that would have made it better is if they would have had a picture of God before the Amit on the emblem. I would have enjoyed that quite a bit.
Like, I wish they could have made it like basically the same emblem twice, and one emblem was somebody that actually crafted a weapon, and then the other emblem version was just for the people that stayed true. You know, like even just like changing the question mark to a different color is all I'm looking for there. You know, but you'll see it. You'll probably see it running around for a few days in game. A lot of people, like collecting all the emblems, and man, if you've gone for that, 6-day window, and you miss out on this emblem, some people's gonna be upset. Just wait for it on Reddit. Drive responsibly, because you might hit a bump and spill the drink. However, Sparrow time, always on time. It's been the fastest Sparrow in the game for 4 years now, and everybody uses it because it is the fastest. Well, beginning in season 23, they are making a universal change to all Sparrows. They will be the same speed as always on time. So there's a Sparrow out there.
The other part of it though is, doesn't always on time have 4 perks as well compared to the regular ones? And it has that like enemies ignore you more and just a bunch of stuff. So it's like, well, it's just the best Sparrow because it has a combination of all the good stuff.
Yeah, you can get some of that on the other ones. So I understand why, but like Sparrows is not really meant for combat at all. Right? It's like moving through patrol zones. So now it's going to be the same. It should be like a ship.
There's no perks involved. It's just Sparrows are what they are. You just kind of roll around, do whatever.
So,
Jared,
go ahead.
How much silver would you spend on Raise Hell, Praise Dell skin for your Sparrow? Like a Earnhardt, like black with a number 3 on the side of it. I'm always a guy that will throw $5 to $7 at anything, but it won't be that. It would be $20, so I wouldn't do it. I started saying 19. That's a 20. I'd pay $20 for Earnhardt or Earnhardt skin on my Sparrow, like a NASCAR crossover.
A Cat's. Was it the blue with the?
That'd be. I'd already said I'd spend at least $20 on just a blue and white shader. God forbid we get Kentucky blue and white.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You'd probably get like a little Jeff Gordon shader for your Sparrow, wouldn't you, Jared?
I was a Jeff Gordon fan back in the day, but I think I stopped watching NASCAR when I was like 12.
Well,
yeah. Yeah. More in the TWID here. Some known issues. And they're closing this chapter on groups. This apparently is something that Bungie did back in the day. Started in November 14th, 2001. And so they're going to be closing those. So anybody that's still out there in those, they'll be bringing those to an end.
He's like, grow up. We're still doing those.
And that's some hippie. So overall, pretty cool. And efficient TWID. So that's it. So now we're gonna move on to likes and dislikes. My like for the week is Chad took me around and getting me all the cards that I needed. I think I still need cards from whatever like engine thing that I don't care at all about from this season. I think I'm like 1 or 2 in there, and I think I'm done.
I on that note, I think there is a table of all the cards and where they come from. I'll see if I can find it again and send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
But go into my like here. My like is oh no, I put mine in earlier today, Ryan. Is getting back into the GMs. I always like getting back into content where we got to put our big boy pants on, get ready, and actually do like a good 5 minutes of prep. You know, it's like, oh, hey, what weapons are we going to need? Make sure all my mods are where they need to be. Is my discipline right? Like, let's double check what the other guys are running so we don't, double stack on things we don't need to double stack on. And then go in and even though it's tough, take it slow and just work on more teamwork. It doesn't happen very often for us as a group. We get it on GMs and day ones of stuff. I guess day one dungeons too. Not that there's contest mode or anything for that, but there's more communication involved because we don't know what we're doing. So it doesn't happen often for us, and it's always fun to get back into it.
My like is Grandmaster Nightfalls. It's kind of nice playing something to where it takes like 4 or 5 minutes before you start to line up all of our. No, no. I honestly, my like was Grandmaster Nightfalls, but it was just fun getting back in, having something to do. That took a little bit more. Like you don't have to be completely. You cannot be completely brain dead. You can be like mostly brain dead, but not completely brain dead, and that was fun. My dislike is whenever you play Iron Banner and you have to get so many wins to get the triumph in order to complete the no no no. Mine's being an adult and just not having time to play like I used to. Kids are growing up, involved in more activities, so but that's part of it. Like I get a lot of enjoyment out of that too. But I could be a super famous streamer by now, but that's how it goes. That's the cards you're dealt.
Mine
is
go ahead.
Oh, no, I'll let Jared go because I'm trying to remember all of what Ryan said so I can say it.
Yeah, Iron Banner matchmaking. I just played some probably like 6 to 8 solo games the past 2 nights. And man, the sweaty 3 and 4 stacks that's out there just chaining kills and getting assists off of each other and keeping the eruption going for their team it's tough out there right now. I'm by no means any way, shape, or form resemble a PvP god. But I do like to go out and just, I would like to win 45% of my games, and I won 2 out of those 8 just because, like, the other stack on the other team was way better than the stack that was on my team. My stack was like, oh, we're playing PvP? Okay, we'll have double primary on and be fine. That's the kind of stacks that I got put on. So.
Yeah, I played a couple of games of Banana and didn't get that experience, thankfully, because I haven't sweat as much in my entire Destiny career. I usually go in there with nonsense weapons and just try to have fun. So my elo is much lower than Jared's for many reasons, on purpose.
Dude, I don't think so, but okay.
No, it's yeah, no, I just don't take it as serious as you a lot of the times. If I did, I think I'd be just a hair below you. I'm not ready for that anymore. But
I'd be better than both of you if I tried.
Probably, yeah. I think you had more Halo time than us, being actual like try hard. So, now my dislike is exactly what Ryan pretended to say. Banana wins triumph. The fact that 1 win is 4% if you have all the armor pieces going is wild. Like 5% maybe, but that's so many wins that you have to get. And if you're not running it squad like Ryan and I did during the Reckoner days for Gambit Prime, it's a lot harder to do. And with matchmaking the way it is, I think didn't Banana had solo queue for a while, right? Like that wasn't nearly as bad. Like from my experience, I wasn't getting like going in solo and then finding a 3-stack that's just running around squad style murdering everybody. Um, I did have a couple of those this week, and I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm just leveling up a gun, or I'm gonna practice with this gun, so maybe I'm better with it next game.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, no, it's the all solos is consistently not a nightmare for me. So having that not be a thing is very sad.
But it's just the population doesn't exist, you know. Like
Yeah, exactly.
people are
You can't
still
split
playing
the
this
player
game.
base.
Yeah, the people are still playing this game, or like, oh, they're grouping up and stacking, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for 3 likes and 3 dislikes for this week. Next up is Gambling Corner. We actually completed a bet. You know, Fox, what happened?
Gambling Corner is one of my favorite parts of the podcast every week whenever we get to it. Shame on us for that, by the way. So basically, every season we start off with 10,000 imaginary glimmer, and we have to make a bet every week. And then with that, at the end of the season, whoever has the most glimmer between us is the champion. If at any point somebody goes bankrupt, then they must sacrifice a weapon out of their vault that the other two determine the value of from 1,000 to 10,000 glimmer. It's only happened a few times. We had to, somebody had to make the ultimate sacrifice. Chad's been close a couple times. I got pretty close last season. This season, we did introduce a new rule where Chad or the winner, it's looking pretty good for Chad so far, will get to dish out a punishment to the 2 losers. But he can't. The second place punishment can't be as bad as the third place punishment. Kind of where we're sitting. So prior to this week, the way that everything was sitting is that Chad had 17,000 glimmer, I had 11,000, Jared had 5,000. The bet was our next Grandmaster Nightfall, how many total kills would we have combined as a fire team? So Jared bet 476, I bet 417, Chad bet 416, and the answer was 388, which means Chad wins. That was a 2,000 ante that we did. So Chad extends the lead there. We'll let Jared update our totals for us. I think that's going to put Chad at like 23. Or no, you've already taken the 2 out, right, Jared?
No, I haven't did it to the rundown yet. I'm doing it on the overlay and then getting.
Sounds good. We'll let Jared update this after. Once he's done, he'll update us at the end of the segment on our current standings. So we still have some more Grandmasters to do. We also are going to do a raid. Now, I had a pretty good idea for the raid. I don't think we've ever done this bet before. My thought is we have to guess the amount that, as a fire team in the raid, we can either do this as the entire fire team or us 3. How many red borders are going to drop? How many red borders do we get during that raid that we did not have before? So like the red border chest counts, because that'll be like 3 for each of us. Assuming that we all buy one at the end, that's going to be 3. And then are we going to bet that somebody gets a red border out of a chest or as a drop? Total combined red borders. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, we just gotta be truthful, but I think we will be.
Yeah, I'll stream mine so you can see mine.
I'm down, and we're including all fire team.
Are we doing all 6? That or it don't matter to me. However you guys want to do it.
Because we can do us three.
Yeah, let's just do us three.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
the reason I thought
we can do that.
if we do us three, we don't have, because sometimes we run the raid with 5, and that might change things up.
Or people that we don't
Yeah.
know as well if we're running a new person through.
Don't
So
speak
us
up
three
at
will be
all.
fine.
Yeah. All right. What are we doing? Are we doing 1,000? Are we doing 2,000?
Let's do 1,500.
Okay.
You said how much? 1,500?
Yep.
This is in a Crota, right? We're doing a Crota.
Yes. And since we'll let Jared go first, I say. Or Jared, since you have the least, you can choose if you want to be first or last or middle or what.
Okay, I'll be last.
Just let him choose order.
I'll be last.
Okay.
Chad, you go first.
And keep in mind, we are like, if 2 people bet the same thing,
You just
they split if it hits, yeah. So it doesn't
Here's my
take anything
question.
away.
We are including the 3 guaranteed ones, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 3 guaranteed, and then we can all buy one.
And then
if we choose it.
everything else.
Yeah,
Oh,
we can.
The buy one counts too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chad's thinking about the fuckery that can happen if one or 2 of us don't.
If he
Don't
does
buy
that,
one.
we can do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. We can all mess with it. But I'm gonna go hopeful here. Which sounds weird that this number is gonna be the hopeful number once you hear it. 8. I think there's only gonna be 2 natural red border drops from the 3 of us. One for Ryan and one for Jared.
Shut the fuck up. I say my thought was 7, but I thought everybody would bet 7, so I was going to bet 8, just to and hope. But I'm gonna say 7.
Oh man, Jared's got the good number coming up. I can feel it in my nines. I mean bones.
Yeah. Part of me wants to go 9, but I just know it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And if I go low with Fox, that means I can screw around, not buy a red border. If edge out Chad because he needs to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
So
7.
wait, here's the thing. 7. Okay. So are we revealing when we get it or at the end?
Just at the end.
At the end. Okay.
And this is like this is a Scout's honor, a Guardian's honor situation.
I'm gonna keep them on my character. I'm not gonna dismantle the red border yet. And once the raid is over, I'm gonna just take a picture of all the red borders in my inventory.
Okay. Well, I'll stream. So mine will be, if there's any doubt about mine, it'll be up. And we'll do it in orbit. We'll go back to orbit and then we'll reveal, because there may be somebody didn't buy one. And
Yeah. Exactly. Once we're out of there is when it counts. All right.
because if you're gonna fuck with the integrity of the game, you're not getting to buy a red border after we say how many there are.
Yeah. Oh, if I buy one, I'll win.
I feel bad doing 7. I'm gonna go 9.
Okay.
That
feels
way.
bad out 7, but not 9.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't feel that bad.
I'm going 9 now.
Okay. I changed it on the board here. Okay.
All right, now
All right.
that takes us
Should
to
be
the
fun.
lore.
That should be a fun one, I think.
Yeah. Chad, I know there's been tons going on in the lore these last couple of weeks, but I don't know if you're getting into that, like behind the scenes of what's not happening outside of radio messages.
Oh man, the radio messages are good. But no, we are continuing on our book Sorora side. We will get into the story once I'm done with this. I'm assuming there's not going to be any Halloween lore coming out that's new. They did a lot last season, but I think I pick and chose the ones that I liked, so I made it a 1 day thing. But we're gonna keep going with the book, split it into threes. So this is part 2 of 3, and once again, we're gonna start off with the title, and it's gonna say the name of the verse 8, 5 blades. What is the nature of war? Ritual. What is the nature of ritual? Fascination. Imitation shapes desire, and Ziva-Arath has become its great mediator. She compels those she wars against to war against her, and the object over which they war is existence itself. She takes up her blade, and we take up ours. Ziva-Arath cuts us, and so we cut at her. We bleed together, mirrored in our pain and violence. Savathun looked at us through a veil so that we could not see her. Ziva-Arath looks at us through a dark mirror, and she only sees herself. This is her design, her ultimate mechanism of desire. She would make us into her image. She would cut the entire universe into her image so that she is the only thing left at the end of all things. Vain and lonely. That is Ziva-Arath, bereft of her siblings. The sword logic is predicted on such imitation. To return Ziva-Arath's violence is to embrace it and its beautiful thesis. We are forced to react again and again as she makes her advance. We are forced to desire existence at any cost, just as she does. Fated? Inevitable? No, an ontological trap. The War Mind knew this, as he could know her the most intimately out of all of us. His escalation did nothing but mirror her endlessly. His self-sacrifice put an end to that font of violence. It was a frustration in her logic that he did so, as Ziva-Arath recognizes no sacrifice that does not end in a scream. But self-sacrifice could not put an end to her war march. Only doubt can do so. And in Ziva-Arath's more mournful solipsism, she will be left with nothing but that. 6. Ziva-Arath, and some Greek word that I'm not going to butcher. Verse 8, 6, Lacuna. My navigation, sung by Ziva-Arath, faithful sister of Oryx. The sky gave our sister strength from false shapes. She fell to what felled you, lonely navigator. That is their lie. Their companionship is strength. This is our truth. Their complacency decays existence. Their dead rise when they deserve to die. They will not meet our truth with truth. Thus they do not deserve it. They are not real. You were real. You were to last forever, our undying creation. I would die again to give you strength. I would cut my wound so that you may step through. You will not rise by false shapes, but with our unconditional victory. She who has been scoured of the sky now brings forth her brood. They have taken up your weapon, which is all that you are, and she will conjure you back with her, understanding. 7. Ziva-Arath, deathless. Verse 8, 7, liminal. My throne, carved to endure by Ziva-Arath, god of love. My court is war, and you will find me there. I am war, and my throne is deathless. Come, cut the outer curtain of my fortress, and it will lay open its new eye in a bloodless laceration. Cut forth to see inside its walls the yellow fat and purple viscera, the teeming rust-cut capillaries. These are the colors of war. These are the colors of my court. My gates open to the most life. The swollen fountains run with blood and burst with arterial spray. The paths are paved with small white teeth. They gnash beneath each footfall, their roots raw and alive. Look, I have raised cathedrals made of flesh. When a breeze caresses them, they blush and contract, fine hairs sensing the change. They are worshipped with bare touch. My throne shudders with joy. The halls of my palace are echoing throats, slick and filled with breath. Its windows are glazed with skin, obsolescent and alive, latticed with blue-black veins. The seats of my throne are fashioned with living bones. Break them, and you will see their raw red marrow. Break them, and the wet pith will writhe. Two are knotted with scars, broken and reformed, broken and reformed. Look out from the terrace and see the worlds we will devour to sustain us. It is a mouth yawning black and wide and hungering. It is open and screams of base need. My court is love, and you will meet me there. 8. Savathun, Swords and Lanterns. Verse 8:8, Ascension. My sorry, sad, inculcated sister. She thinks she's as honest as a knife's edge just because she never speaks a lie out loud. But she's prone to contradiction, at least since our beloved brother fell. She could never quite understand it. Someone as mighty as Oryx brought down by liars, his bloodline destroyed, his corpse left to desiccate in Saturn's orbit. Xivu Arath actually believed that dreadnought of his was unassailable. But Oryx knew that he had limits. More than once, he took the power of our deaths to defeat something stronger than himself. She's just bitter she wasn't there to die for him again. She says she's the god of death, but I've seen her throne. It's a mausoleum for life with all that clothes. Cloying, comforting of the birthing room, wet and raw and filled with disgusting effluvia. I imagine it reminds her of her gardens so long ago and all the things that grew there. She really shouldn't be so nostalgic. There was a game we played when we were young, swords and lanterns. Sathona held the lantern while Zero held the sword. Sathona would search for her hidden sister, and Zero would avoid the lantern's light. If Zero touched Sathona with her sword, she would win. If Sathona found Zero with her lantern, she would win. Sathona devised the rules, but Zero would let her sister find her. I still give her presents, too, of course. I gave her Torabottle, my gift to my last surviving sibling. She gobbled it up so greedily. She didn't even consider how it proved her precious logic false. What kind of thing is a gift? The deep doesn't like gifts. Neither does the logic. But we're sisters. I thought it'd be nice and share. Xivu was too busy to notice that little contradiction. She never even thanked me. What did she say as soon as she set foot on Torabottle? For as long as you have worshipped war, you have worshipped me, Ayat, Ayat. That was Torabottle. I know a joke in a dead language. A bot. So, just because of the face that Ryan made, I'm going to copy and paste this Greek word and see if he can figure it out later. But it's definitely interesting to get these points of view that we just don't have anywhere else besides here. And the words, the last words there on that Savathun chapter 8, Ayat is essentially meaning whatever is fated. So basically, Ayat is just worshipping of the coming end is what's supposed to happen no matter what. And then Ibat is essentially what happened is because I willed it. So it's a direct offense to the sword logic, because the sword logic is I survived this fight because I was fated to do so and become stronger. And Ibot is like, no, I won because I decided that instead of fate. So it's a fight against fate. So that's why it's such a joke in Savathun's eyes, because Ayat is their whole deal and Ibot is just the opposite of that. But we'll finish up this book next week, as long as something super interesting doesn't happen with the Halloween event. I'm sure nothing will. But yeah, excited to finish that and get into the last book.
Ready for the mailbag?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Couple of good questions in this one. And if anybody's watching live, don't forget that you can put in the chat your guess for the number. We do a lottery ball at the end of the show. If you win, if your comment's in before the lottery ball and you hit it, we'll give you something. We don't know what yet, but we'll give you something. Question 1. Is the Xivu arc essentially done? Will we see Xivu on the screen at any point?
I think
don't
what
think so.
I think what we've what I've kind of plurally picked up is without the throne world, they don't have it. Xivu doesn't have an immediate way to teleport into our kind of area. So she's going to be a little bit slower travel because she's going to want to move war moons with her. She's going to want to bring her entire army, and without her throne world, where she can just pop them into the throne world and then pop them out wherever they want to, they're going to go slow. So I think what we thought, or at least kind of as just a general throwing things out the last time we talked about this, was Xivu's not coming back until maybe next year during that Hive chapter. And even then we're not sure. Because that might be another Savathun thing. But that's more, my guess is more likely we will not see Xivu until that Hive episode happens next year.
It's not over. She's still going to be in the background lurking and just waiting for us to be weak, and then that's when she'll strike. So, nope, she's still out there.
Question 2. Prediction for the cost of the Festival of the Lost Armor. Do you think that you'll be able to purchase it with Bright Dust? It's gonna be It's gonna be what, $15 or 6,000 Bright Dust, and that kind of the.
Yeah, but didn't they like start raising prices on everything the last season or two?
I think. What do you think? It's going to be 2,000 silver.
No,
Or-
there's no way. It used to be $10 or 6,000 Bright Dust, but 15 has been like the cost of seasonal armor. I guess the cost of shipping it has made it rise. You know, the cost of all that. But I just don't. I mean, would you spend 9,000 Bright Dust on it?
No. So with armor, if I'm going to buy armor, I'll just pay the silver and get it. I don't spend Bright Dust on those because I keep Bright Dust for all of the exotic ornaments whenever they are in for free.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. My final guess is going to be $15, 8,000 Bright Dust.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. One must go: ravioli, spaghetti, pizza, or lasagna. Is this individual or as a podcast?
We'll do it as a podcast. Okay.
Pizza is staying. I'll fight somebody over pizza.
Look, pizza's tier 1. Like it's on like it's so far and above the other 3. It's like not even in the same game.
I mean, if you really break it down, these 3 are all the same thing.
No, they're not.
No.
I think ravioli and lasagna are closer, but
No.
they're all breads, meat,
Lasagna.
sausages.
Lasagna's shitty spaghetti. Lasagna's got to go.
What? No.
What?
Pizza.
Okay, I was gonna say spaghetti can't
Spaghetti,
go because you need something to entertain
ravioli.
children. I think ravioli needs to go.
I would prefer ravioli over lasagna, but I'm not gonna fight hard for it. If you two are.
What ravioli have you had in your life that you just liked it so much better than lasagna?
Might have heard of him.
Ravioli's just tiny lasagna.
He's a pretty famous chef. Chef
Oh,
Boyardee.
stop. No, not that ravioli.
Boyardee. I mean, he is famous. He's in every grocery store I've ever been in.
But I'm saying, nobody else has that sort of coverage.
It's true. Nobody else has that much sugar in their pasta sauce.
I think that the mini raviolis from the Chef Boyardee is a lot better than the normal size raviolis or the overstuffed. I will say that.
No, yeah.
Jared just has no idea what to say. Honestly, I'm kind of more of a tortellini than a ravioli guy myself.
Yeah, no, tortellini
Okay.
is way better. So
Okay.
raviolis
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, ravioli's gone. All right. Man, she's just gonna drop out lasagna like.
Dude, I'm still not a lasagna. I'm not a lasagna guy.
Have you had an Alfredo lasagna?
I'm not sure that I have actually,
Dude, have you
I've
had one of my lasagnas?
I don't think that would ship well. Question 4. This has been one of my all-time favorite questions that's ever been sent in. Which character on either The Office or Seinfeld would be the best FPS competitive player, and which one would be the best MMO player? I've thought about this all day, so I have an answer, but I don't know. Do you guys watch Seinfeld at all? Are you too young for Seinfeld?
Oh yeah, I watched Seinfeld.
Okay.
So,
I feel like the Office one's pretty easy, assuming we're taking one from each show.
Okay, one from each. Okay. All right, for FPS player from Seinfeld, I'm taking George, because he'll freak out, and he'll just like go rage mode, trying to get like button smashing, like everything. I would just want to see it first of all, just see George try to play an FPS.
That would be good. So if we're sticking with FPS player, the answer has got to be Karen Filippelli, right? Like Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of had that. So that was where my mind went. But I also thought that Ryan would probably be pretty good for that. And if we're talking like Seinfeld FPS player, I was thinking Kramer. Kramer was kind of my one that he would just, he's so quirky. He would just have like stupid reflexes or something, just something wild. So that was kind of my thoughts for that one.
Like on The Office, I'm trying to think of another person I think that would be good at the game. That that half Call of Duty episode that they did at the Nashville. Wait, no, that was not Nashville branch. It was Stansford. That's an N, not an M, right? So outside of that, like I was thinking Creed would somehow be good at something.
Creed.
Because he can kill people.
And Angela would be pretty funny. Like if she was just really good at competitive shooters.
Yeah.
But like Kevin is probably, like how he's good. He's like World Series of Poker, like bracelet winner and stuff.
At the end of that basketball episode, he's just like draining threes.
It's just draining. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, MMO player then.
I thought for The Office, I thought Michael, solely because all he wants is friends, and everybody would just take advantage of him. Everybody would just take advantage of him and take all his good stuff because all he wants to do is have friends. But also, like, I thought that would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then, like, Dwight already played, what was it, Second Life and Third Life or whatever.
He created Third Life,
which
and
is
Second
kind of yeah. And Seinfeld, Newman is the one that I thought of for the MMO for whatever reason. Like he quits delivering the mail again and gets addicted to World of Warcraft. So that was kind of where I was at there.
Putty, the mechanic that like Lane's like always going in and out of his relationship.
Yeah.
I just felt like
I mean, I forgot.
he was just like troubleshoot everything in an MMO and tell you what the mechanic is and get through it.
I agree.
Thank you for your service, Chad. And the last question. Lottery ball. Here are the numbers so far. We've had 6, 2, 11, and 99. 6, 2, 11, and 99. Give me 1 second for the integrity of the game here. Yeah.
So Fox is pulling up a random number generizer. He is going to get the 1 through 100 up there. Does it 3 or 5 times. I forget which one it is, or whatever one it lands on. That's what it is.
Do it 3 times. Do it 3 times. So we're roll 1, roll 2, and what numbers are you guys thinking?
I'm going 28.
78.
69. Oh no, that was my guess last week. 17. The answer is 17. That is just absolute pain.
So Halloween's
right
coming
there.
up, and like that's Halloween candy. So we're gonna do the Mount Rushmore Halloween candy on that episode. But until then, we got like a big bag of it, and like remember the Laffy Taffies, and they have jokes on there.
Yeah, you got a joke for us?
I do. What has a neck, no head, and wears a cap?
Say that again.
What has a neck, no head, and wears a cap?
Is it like a glass bottle or something?
It's a bottle. Yeah, a bottle.
Let's go. Let's go.
What Ryan
Let's
said.
go. All right. That brings us to the end of the episode this week. Not a lot going on in Destiny time, so we're doing our best. So if you have any ideas, questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, hit us up on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. I'm gonna let these other 2 guys sign off.
Yeah, doing a Crota probably maybe tomorrow night and or Saturday night. We've been struggling to get people. Like, well, like 3 or 4 of us would be ready to go, and then we can't get another 2 or 3, and it's just that's what's happening. So, if you want to get involved, you can hit us on Discord or Twitter, and we'll get you a bunch of IDs. Go from there.
Yeah, definitely. We want to run more people through there, get more people learned, so that we can just make everything super smooth.
And I'm an idiot and never hit start streaming onto Twitch to get this on there live. So, with that being said, go Cats. Love you guys.